Hi, everybody. We are live. And you're going to be able to hear all the fireworks that are happening at all of our individual houses in the background because I can see it on the desktop audio, if that's a thing. There's nothing we can do about it. So, hi.
That star-spangled fellow in the bottom
Yes.
bottom right corner, he's waiting for the Undertaker to show up so he can Austin 316 him. I don't even remember, honestly, like any of the Macho Man's moves other than just the way he spoke.
Ooh, we go to the top. Imagine if Art just talked like that all the time. How old would that get?
Do it.
Hey, Makaya's southern accent hasn't gotten old yet. If you can keep it up, then.
After about 30 seconds, everybody would be like, "Oh my god, murder this guy."
Can I shoot him, please?
I know, right? Can I cut him in half?
Go ahead. Roll for attack. Alright, so, I'm gonna, I don't know. I forgot to write a recap, so I'm gonna wing it when we get to that point, but, I'm Izzy, the DM. I don't know if you guys want to do intros every time. We don't have to, because I got your names up on the screen, but that's up to you. But we are, these are the bums of greenest. We are down a bum. Makaya was not able to join us today, but she said she'll be back on Tuesday. We are currently running the Tyranny of Dragons with these lovely bums of greenest, and we are also doing a giveaway when we hit 100 followers. We're at 79 right now. We're gonna do a, I wonder if I can get it up real quick on Insta. But we're going to give away a gift card to a website, Cozy Gamer. Here, I wonder if it will pop up if I throw it up on the screen here. That's not working. I just want to show you her beautiful dice. Let me, no, I want to show you this other one. Why isn't this working? Oh, that's why. Duh. Alright, so, this is what her dice, well, one of the sets of dice that she has looks like. It's a little bit stretched out here on the screen, but when we hit 100 followers, we're going to do this giveaway. If you're a follower or a subscriber, you'll be eligible. Hi, Dark Dreamer. Nice Dreamer, probably. Nice to see you. I don't know why suddenly whenever I go live my voice gets all picked up. We're also going
little verklempt.
Yeah, verklempt. Oh yes, I should address the hair. This is another one of my wigs, obviously. It is one of the ones that can be chosen. I have in our critties, our points there, that you can like make me change my wig out in the middle of a session if you want. So I'm just trying to like showcase all of the options. This is the blue mohawk, although it's a little bit old, so the mohawk is very weak. But it's one of my favorites. Okay, so we are also, what else are we doing here?
Are the fireworks intensifying for anyone else?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Somebody blew up a 5-gallon bucket with like a half stick of dynamite or something in my neighborhood because there was shards of bucket everywhere.
Unreal. I don't know if you all out there are also dealing with fireworks. I assume probably most of you are, but it's a bit much.
I think we've complained every session for the last month, but like obviously being the 4th, like it's going on about almost 9:30 right now, and it's like they're not dying down;
Nope.
they're ramping up.
I mean, especially considering that fireworks are illegal in our state.
Right.
I'm sure everybody's got fireworks going on.
Right.
Today's the only day it's not going to bother me. Usually I get pissed off.
Oh, it's bothering me just because we've got little ones, but
Oh, you've got, yeah.
and because they just haven't stopped if they hadn't been doing it for the past month.
True.
Let's see. We've got I wanted to do some shout outs to some of the I almost want to say local channels, but like they're not at all local, but just the smaller channels who have helped us to grow. Dreaded GM out in Australia, really great community over there. Nat Awesome, who reached a affiliate when we did. I play over on their channel every other Sunday for a little while, so you should go check them out. Not this Sunday, but the next Sunday is when they'll be running a session, and the DM, Ash, she does world building and everything. It's a completely homebrewed world. Same with the Mark Knight, who runs 6 games a week. And they're working on 6 or 7. I think it's 6 games, but he's got like other DMs who are running on the channel as well, or in the same world. Still working on that 10-second dab when they get to 200 subscribers. So, and then the Loophole King, we've been doing DM after hours on Wednesdays at about 9 or 10 p.m. Eastern time, and just kind of chatting. Like DMs, just talking about DMing. Lord Nikto, who has been really Lord_Nikto, who has like a really great community over there. I kind of like hang out on that channel for hours at a time. And Raging Rolls. Last time I checked, they only had 4 more followers before they hit 30, so I don't know if they're still there. They were in the chat, but we can like try to help them out to get them to affiliate. They again, more D&D out in Australia. I think they play Thursdays or Fridays, but you can check out their channel. Let's see if it works if I do my little shout out thingy. Oh, there's nice delete. Yay! It worked. Okay, so it's in the chat. All right, and thank you again to all of our followers and our subscribers. When we hit 15 subscribers, we'll be able to do another emote that I'm working on. I'm going to try to like stream me drawing that. I'm almost done. And also I added another thing that went based off of bits. So you're going to see the party inspiration. The whole party will be given inspiration die when we hit, I think it's 50, or no, it's 5,000 bits. So as that builds up, there's no real time limit, but as that builds up, when it finally hits 5,000 bits, then you guys will get inspiration for your whole party, and you can use it for whatever you want. All right, so do you guys want to do what's so funny?
Just laughing at the name Dick Champion.
Oh.
Not go quietly.
The Independence Day speech.
I'm drinking a beer, wearing this hat, the shirt, eating steak, and I still think I've been supplanted as the most fucking American thing. Look at that. The Independence quote, plus the name Dick Champion. That is just pure America. That's peak.
Indeed. I can pretend that I put blue on because it's one of the flag. We'll say that it was intentional.
I can pretend the same thing because I'm wearing red, but we'll be kidding.
All right. So.
My dog.
Dogs. Duck and cover. Poor dog.
Okay. So do we want to do intros? You guys want to do it, or do you want me to say it? It's totally up to you. I don't want to like.
Let's give it a whirl. You should give it a whirl this time.
Oh, I was just gonna roll through it. All right, so we have Roy as Arik, Human Fighter. Everyone's level 4 right now. Lauren at Did It For The Toys on Instagram. It's okay that I said that, right? It's too late.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
It's too late now.
Playing
He's done.
Abaddon, Tiefling Sorceress. Rachel, I have you as Rally. As Vidania, the High Elf Ranger. I would say at Rachie, but
If
I'm
with
not
5
gonna-
E's.
5 E's on Instagram. We've got Pat as Xander Huntsman, the half-elf ranger / monk in training. Well, do you want me to say your Insta or no? I can't hear you.
Your mic's muted.
Yeah, there's only one picture, and it's from the NAT30s. So yeah, everyone can create my page.
What is it? The last Sun 179. Did I get that
Yep.
right? All right.
That's it.
Andrew, I have you as Cuba there. As Erdnot, the are you a hill dwarf? You're dwarf.
I am.
Hill dwarf. Paladin, warlock. I was gonna say cleric. At vintage.84 on Instagram. We're missing Annie as Micaiah, our half-elf druid, who's not on social media, and yet, and then me, and you can see I'm that everywhere. This, whoops, right there. All right, so we're gonna get started. I'm gonna wing this recap because I didn't write one. So we rejoined the Bums of Greenest. You're just about at the end of your travel from Baldur's Gate to Waterdeep. The caravan, again, that you have joined is being unknowingly led, at least by the rest of the caravanneers, by 3 wagons of cultists of the Dragon Queen. You had a couple of hop-ons over at Daggerford. A human male who joined up with the cultists, which was very interesting because they had always pushed any new travelers away, and a halfling female named Isa, who has gotten to know everybody in the group a little bit, or yeah, I'd say that she's gotten to know you. And has revealed that she is also following the cult. You had a little bit of drama in the last session as there was another assassination attempt on Arik that did not, it was nearly successful, but not quite, almost. And following the tracks, Zan and Erdnot were able to discern that it was a bipedal humanoid, but with some kind of like beast footprints, which could mean a lot of things, but you weren't able to find the person or individual. Let's see. And we left off with the morning of your 50th day of travel as you all woke up to a loud scream and someone yelling no and he's dead. And that's where we pick up. So it is the morning of day 50. You have all woken up. It was a quiet morning, nothing too interesting going on until that moment while you were all sleeping. So it's about like 6 or so in the morning. First light.
And you said that this scream came from the cult wagons.
Yes.
Right?
So as you guys woke up and came out of your tents, you looked over as you were trying to figure out where it was coming from, and it was coming from the cult wagons. And you can see now that the others in your caravan are starting to head over there, running over.
Would we be just woken up so we wouldn't be in armor, weapons, nothing like that, or would we be decked out in our finery?
You would be just woken up. Whoever was on like your final watch would be wearing all of the stuff, but everyone else would not be.
I'll grab my two swords, my sword belt that has my 2 swords on it, and I'll run over.
Okay.
Towards the front.
I believe Zan was on last watch, so he'll make his way towards the cultists also to see what happened.
Okay. All right.
Erdnot grabs his battle axe.
All right. Are you all heading over, or is anybody staying behind?
I'm gonna stay in the back, but not like fully behind. Depending on how far ahead is the wagon, the cult wagon.
So the cult wagon, they set up about like no more than 30 feet away. They're pretty. The edge of their little caravan thingy is pretty close.
Okay. I'll stay with it, like at our caravan though, but to just watch.
I'll stay with Abaddon.
All right. So you guys run over, and you come around the side there, past where they have set up their little campfire and everything. And obviously, there's a big crowd now, and you can see Philok standing over all of you smarties. As you get closer, the body of James, who is lying face down on the ground, Braxton and pretty much the entire like caravan cultists are there, except for Hercrock and I forget, like Rourke or a couple of the others who are kind of looking out on the perimeter just to see. It is, as you're getting closer to Waterdeep, it is getting colder, and there is like just a little bit of like a dusting of white on the ground. But it's also gotten like a little bit muddy and stuff from that. And Wexler has come over and he pulls Philok away from the body, and sorry, there's fireworks.
That sounds like somebody's trying to come through the door with a sledgehammer.
That's
That's crazy. The way that the deepness of that sound.
So the pole comes over, taking charge right away. He's pretty much as tall as the half orc, half human that's in the group. And so he says, "Everyone stand back," and Braxton is standing there, and he looks really, really pissed off. And Philok is just kind of like crying. She had always kept really like, I don't want to say professional, but just like she looked really, really like with it this whole time, and very very strong. And not to say that this is changing that, but just you're finally seeing some emotion from her where you hadn't really seen it before. Like those of you who had seen her hopping off into the woods with James, she wasn't really overtly affectionate towards him or anything that anybody could see. So this is a change.
Micaiah saw.
Right. Well, she did see. So the pole like kneels down, and James is on the ground, and you can see this like just blood pouring, or that had poured out of like his back. He's got a very deep wound on his back. And he looks up at Braxton and he says, "Did anyone see?" And Braxton, who's just like, "No one saw." And he looks up and he's looking out across the rest of the crowd that's all gathering around. And he kind of like looks and locks eyes with you, Erdnot.
The pole locks eyes with me?
No, sorry, Braxton is looking around and he looks at you. And he gives you like this really like big scowl. He's just like, and he looks like he's about to explode. And the pole is looking down at the wounds, and he says, "This is a stab wound." And he like kind of pulls the armor that James was wearing. He kind of like just like separates it a little bit. And he says, "If I had to guess, I would say short sword." And Braxton looks around again, looks down at the pole, and is like, "Well, who here has short swords? Start looking. This wouldn't be a stranger coming in. Look." And he points over, and you can see that the cart that James is right next to actually has the tarp is pulled over, like revealing some of the crates that are inside of it, and it looks like one of them was like attempted to be opened. So Braxton says, clearly he caught someone trying to break into our cart. So it has to be someone here. And the pole is like, all right. And Braxton then again looks at you, Erdnot, and he's like, that one over there. He'd been talking to him. He's been talking to Minxie. Very suspicious. Check him. And the pole is like, he kind of looks a little confused, but a bunch of people all look at you, like Ed Helry and Eldkin, and everyone are all looking over, and you can start to hear like murmurs and stuff. And then the pole stands up and comes over to you, Erdnot, and is like, can I see your weapons, please?
I just kind of look at my compatriots and look of, do we want to comply with this, or we want to fight this?
I'm going to step up to his left side and just hold my sword at the ready, just in, not out, but just in my left hand inside the scabbard, ready to draw in case anything happens.
Right. And you see the Hoper, the big jolly human merchant who has green IMSA and Warand. He comes over, as always, and is like, come now, really, we have seen all of these individuals help us tremendously this entire trip. What motivation would Erdnot have for murdering a guard? And Braxton is like, I don't know, but he's spent far too much time chatting with our people here.
I just throw out a finger and say, how do I know it wasn't one of you that sunk arrows into one of my guards?
And Braxton is like, don't try to deflect. We have no reason to do such a thing.
And I no reason to do such a thing to you.
And the pole is like, if we can just see your weapons, sir, I believe that might help. And Ed Helry and Eldkin and the Hoper and others come over and they're like, we just don't see how this could possibly solve anything. How will we know? Unless there's blood sitting on his sword, which would be very stupid. And the Hoper is like, I just don't see how he could possibly have been the one to do this. I just don't understand where these accusations are coming from. And you can hear Philok crying out in the corner there.
DM, do we...
Yep.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
Oh, was the voice who called who screamed, do we know that was Braxton?
That was Philok. It was it was her screaming when she found him on the ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Braxton just angrily stands there, and Wexler, after he's sorta calms Philok a little bit, it seems more like he kind of reprimands her more to get her to stop crying. And so he comes over and is like, I don't feel as though looking at anyone's swords unless there's blood spattered all over it. Oh, hi, baby punching tacos. Thank you for following. So
at least the tacos aren't punching the baby.
Yeah, I guess that's true. That might be Malcolm punching tacos. So Braxton and Wexler's like, I just don't see how we'll find out who did this. I'm as angry as any of you. This was one of my men. But unless there's a blood-spattered sword lying around somewhere, how will we know? Nobody saw anything. Nobody heard anything. And he's looking out at everybody.
Or not. Just throws his hands out and goes, what about tracks? Are there any tracks in the area?
Oh, you're good, baby punching tacos. You're good.
Wait until the pun guy comes. That's it.
Oh yeah, where's the pun guy?
So who wants to look at the look for tracks?
Zan will look for traps. Tracks.
Okay. So you get down you get down to look, and I don't even need a roll, because looking at the ground, you can just see like everybody coming over and walking all around and everything. There's so many tracks around this body that it's just not possible with like the muddy kind of wet earth from the little like light dusting that happened. You can't discern who was there first, basically.
Can we see what they were trying to break into?
Not from where you're standing. Like you can, so you,
right.
Abaddon, and Vidania, a little bit back. You can see the cart, and you can see that the tarp is a little bit over it, like pulled to the side, revealing some of the crates, but you can't see what's inside. And actually, as you're looking at that, you do see Murray the Scarred, the halfling with like all of the tattoos. He comes over, crawls over the top, and pulls the tarp thingy over so that you guys nobody can see.
Do we see where Isla, or whatever her name is,
Imsa.
little snarky one that I want to cut in half?
Oh, Issa.
Isa.
Yes. You see her, she's hung back a little bit with Carlon. They're both kind of standing a little bit further back, like between where Abaddon and Vidania are and the rest of the group, because you get the impression that like they, having been more recent additions to your crew there, are not eager to join in on all of it. And actually, as you're talking, you do see the that human male with the hat that covers his ears and his neck. He comes over and he says, everyone, there's really no way that we can figure this out. I say that we clean up what we can. If anyone sees anything, please come forward. You will not be, or if anyone saw anything, please come forward, and you will not be punished for speaking up, so that we can help get to the bottom of this. But without any witnesses, there's really nothing that can be done. And this is the first that you've heard this person speak. So everyone kind of stops. This is the first most people have heard him speak besides Braxton. You guys have seen him talking to Braxton, but he's pretty tall, but wearing very like nondescript clothing, and again that hat that covers most of his head. And Vidania and Zan. Let's see. How about both? Actually, Zan, you can make me a perception check. Your passive is the highest in this group.
Can we take a moment to?
That's a
I was just gonna say, can we take a moment and appreciate how awesome and clear, flowing we are right now?
I know,
with
look.
like no
And
or any of that crap.
it's wonderful at the time. Okay, yeah. So you look over and just see the same that everyone else does. It's this tall guy talking, and you see the other merchants. Braxton is still like staring daggers at you, Erdnot. But like Cormina, the other merchant, and Argos.
That's what I do.
they step forward towards Braxton, and you can see them talking. Wexler comes over as well, and you see them chatting a little. And you can vaguely hear just like a kind of like agreement that this is not, without anybody coming forward, and unless someone decides to come forward, nobody saw anything. There's just no way to determine what happened here. And Wexler does like one more kind of like scan of just the whole group, almost this like, if one of you did it, I'm gonna find out kind of thing. Just looking at everyone, making eye contact individually with not just you, just like everybody. And you see a couple of people look away, but several of them do, and so it's kind of hard to determine like, did they do something, or are they just like the type of people that don't like to make eye contact and be accused of something like that, and they just are shying away from it. But you notice that... Oh, go ahead.
Alright. Is there anybody noticeably missing from the group?
Nope. Normally, you would notice that Philok and James are missing, but they are there, and everyone else is there for now. You do see Nancy is like over in the corner, kind of like looking like sad, with like a little flower, but she doesn't look overly suspicious either. And Carlon and Issa, you notice, not you, Abaddon or Vidania, because you're standing behind, but the others would notice that like they specifically don't look away when Wexler makes eye contact, but given what you know of the two of them, you wouldn't expect them to. So the pole helps, or he goes to try to help Hercrock and Wexler to prepare James's body and like move him, but they like put their hand up and are like, we've got this, and he nods and moves on, and the crowd disperses, and you can of course hear whispers and chatter about what happened and who could have possibly done it, and Issa and Imsa are both chatting at a certain point, but you guys, this particular death does not cause your group to not move on for the day. You just get a little bit of a late start as everything gets pulled together.
When the
As we're walking back, I'd like to turn to Zan and Ecker and be like, wasn't either of you, was it?
Just shake my head.
Zan will use his quiver and just say, of course not, or not.
No, I shouldn't have asked you, Zan.
When the pole walks away, I'd like to just ask him quietly if he saw any poison, or evidence of poison in the wounds.
Evidence of poison in the wound, in James's wound?
Yes.
Zan, you can give me, well, I'll just say no. Zan, you didn't notice anything. It looked like,
I asked the pole.
Oh, the pole.
When he walked.
Oh, okay, sorry, I thought I inserted Zan for some reason. Yeah, so the pole looks and says, no, I did not. It looked like, given that it was from the back in, it looked like some kind of sneak attack. It looked very professionally done. Clean, quick, and he made no noise as far as we can tell, so, but no poison overtly on the wound.
Okay, stay on your guard. I, as you know, was almost taken out only a couple days ago, and maybe this is of the same ilk.
He kind of, he gives a little bit of a like, Like he doesn't quite believe that, but he doesn't say anything. But you can see on his face for just a moment that he's like, I don't think so, but I'm not getting into this. And he moves on. Practicing. Practicing your roles.
Yeah, I don't.
No, or not.
Wait.
I thought you were talking to me. I was like, no, I'm eating steak.
Yeah, I can see him.
Oh, you can't see them. Okay. I was changing it to having it roll on just the D&D Beyond instead of roll 20 with the 3D
Short
dice
sword.
and stuff like that.
With his
Short sword. So you didn't kill him. You're rolling for it.
I'm just testing some things.
All right.
Life story.
Okay, so you your caravan packs up with James being loaded into the back of I believe it was actually it will be Cormina's wagon, and you head off. You know. Go ahead.
I want to ask Erdy if he knows of any reason why someone would want to kill James. Because you've talked to him, but I don't. Just wondering.
I had no idea. He was a clueless boy. I think it was definitely he was not the target. He just was unfortunate enough to be where he was, it seems.
Yeah, and you recall too that the cart was opened. It looked like somebody was trying to get in there. So that's what Braxton said, that someone was trying to get into the cart. So it appears that he came across whoever that person was.
That's why I asked where the little halfling lady was. She seems like the stabby type. The sneaky stabby type.
She was with Garlon. Alright, so I know all
And
these
Green Imp.
fireworks. Yep, go ahead.
Was Green Imsa doing anything in particular?
So Green Imsa was like with a bigger group, and she during that time she kind of seemed like she was hanging back a little bit, like she saw what was there, and then she did one of these and was like hanging back, like she didn't want to necessarily see the gore of the situation, but she's mostly kind of just like chatted about it since then. She wasn't up front and center just to look at the body, but she saw it move back, and then now she's chatting away with anybody but you guys.
My bad.
All right. So, okay. So you guys head on, and I did have different music that I was going to switch to, so we'll see if I can remember what it was. But a couple of days move forward. You guys are like right on the cusp of reaching Waterdeep, and that was day 50. So 2 more days pass. And as you approach on day 52. You can see why Waterdeep, as you like turn this corner, has earned the nickname the City of Splendors or the Crown of the North. You've traveled 150 miles since Daggerford across the shores of the Sword Coast, and the closer you get to the city, the more paved and clear the road becomes. So it's not so much of a dirt road, but much more easily traveled. You start to see as you're passing like the hostels on the side of the road there, more carts and other travelers. So the first thing that you see as you come around this bend is a large mountain with a stone castle built into its side. You can't miss it. Those in the caravan who are clearly excited about finally reaching your destination, they gush over the rugged height of the mountain, which protects much of the city from the full fury of winter storms. The mountain is honeycombed with caverns. So this is stuff that they're chatting about, with caverns and passages where the city guard maintains its armories, the city's granary, and flying griffin steeds. The Hoper, he's been here before, and so is Warand. And they're chatting about how the caverns are linked to Castle Waterdeep, which is very impressive even from a distance. And beneath, you can see the city that's encased by a tall wall. It's been said many times that you can buy anything in Waterdeep, and there's an air of relief and elation in the caravan as the miles between you and its front gate get shorter. So especially Green Imsa, you see her, Abaddon, because you'd probably be paying attention, I don't know about the others, maybe Erdnot as well. When you start to see the city getting closer and closer, she just visibly brightens. Most people do, but after having traveled with her for this long, you all know that her hope is to be cured of whatever is making her green within the city of Waterdeep. So she's just very visibly excited to be getting even closer.
Does she turn a lime green?
Sure. She's
like a mood ring.
So yeah, you guys get closer to the city, and as you roll into Waterdeep after 2 months on the road, you start to see that the merchant wagon, so people start to say goodbye, and Green Imsa smiles at everybody. This is you guys kind of rolling into the city, and I have a map, and I don't know if you guys will be able to see it unless you look at the stream, because it's a fantastic map. I can switch it over so that you can see it on the stream.
And you're not going to put it in roll 20?
No, it's huge and interactive, so I want to try to make it so that you can see it on the stream here. It's not imperative that you see it. I just wanted to give you guys a view. Let me just change this here. What is that?
What's that?
Somebody fighting?
The kids?
Whose neighborhood is that?
Just making sure nobody's on fire. I think
I
it's just
Pat, is
neighbor
there somebody
kids
that lives underneath
getting
you?
really excited.
No, that's
No,
not
that's coming from behind our house.
Oh, Jesus Christ. It sounded like people in the next
Dying,
room.
yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I heard the yelling. I had to take off the headphones because, if I hear he's on fire, I'd call 911 or something because,
And
a
let
lot
him
of people
burn.
over there. That's definitely not a social distancing party.
Oh no, they don't.
Let him burn. It's the only way he's going to learn.
Alright, so as you guys come through the south gate of Waterdeep, you come through this bigger gate here that stops as the this wall, natural stone wall in a way, is there. Wall here, and then you start walking through the south gate into the very, very big, and I'm just going to scroll out, so if you're on the Twitch you can see how big the city of Waterdeep is, and all of these farmland and everything here. So again, you're coming in through the southern ward and going up. You actually will go up the high road here, and you'll start to see all of the different merchants disperse as you're going. Oops, sorry. And
So this is much much bigger than what is it? Whatever the hell
Baldur's
place we left, Baldur's Gate.
It's pretty big. I don't actually know how much bigger Baldur's Gate is than Waterdeep is than Baldur's Gate. Maybe one of the more seasoned DMs in our chat will know which one's bigger, but it is a very, very large city. Like I said, it is nicknamed the City of Splendors or the Crown of the North, and pretty much anything that you want to buy, you should be able to find in this city. So as you are going through the city, you see each of the merchants disperses. The wagons go off. People are kind of like, the Hoper gives this big rousing speech about how you all made it, and wonderful job done by all. We have only lost 2, and they will not be forgotten. But he does his whole spiel. But actually, the cult caravans don't stick around for any of his speech. And as everybody's kind of going this way, that way, actually, Issa and Carlon, they stay like with your wagon. Issa jumps off of Ed Hellery's and hops onto yours. She doesn't even ask. She just kind of sits down next to Carlon. But you do notice that the cult wagons, they don't follow the same pattern as the others, who are kind of like going off more towards where the trade, up here where the trades ward is. They keep going. So as you're kind of following them without being too obvious, you do notice them heading to the north side of the city.
I know Micaiah's not with us today, but since she is with us in game, is there any way we can have her turn into like a ladybug or something and like cling to one of their wagons so that we know where their final destination is going to be? Yeah, you said because transforming lasts an hour, right?
Yep, it lasts an hour. So let's see.
Because Braxton kind of hates me, so I don't know if how long we should actually follow them physically.
Okay. All right. So yeah, Micaiah is like, yeah, honey, I can do that, and she transforms into a little ladybug with her wild shape, which I believe is allowed. And we're just going to say it is for now. So she, actually, let me see what things she can. Because I don't actually know.
I was just throwing shit out. Doesn't need to be a ladybug.
No, I know, but I don't know what her.
Like a cat, maybe.
I'm pretty sure she can change into anything that she has.
Anything she's seen, right?
Anything that she has seen. Hold on, let me just double check. Wild shape.
Holy crap! It's suddenly gone silent.
Lucky.
Like,
I still
you're
have some
really
thoughts.
silent.
Oh. Right. Yes, she is not able to turn into things that can fly. Thank you.
She turned into a bat last time.
I know. I messed it up.
Oh, okay.
What about a cat? Cats should be pretty common here, no?
Yeah. She wouldn't be able to like jump on their cart or anything, but yeah, she can turn into a cat. So that's what she does. And she kind of tries to keep up with the the cart. I'm just gonna have her do a stealth check.
You want to say hi? You sure? You want to say hi? Say
Hi, Leanne.
No, it's Jalen.
Hi, Jalen.
Wait, hi, look, they can see you. Just wave.
No.
She's tired from getting a beach day. She's really, really tired.
No, she's just teenaging.
She's a teenager.
I don't want to be on camera, internet dude.
Yeah, she's got a little bit of a sunburn and stuff. She's exhausted.
Oh, hello.
Internet daddy.
So she switches into a cat as you guys are going along, and Issa's like, "Oh wow, that's good. Wish I could do that."
Wait, why is she still with us?
Issa?
Jumped
Is
on
she on
our
our
car.
wagon?
Yeah, I told you she jumped on your wagon with Caroline. She didn't ask. She jumped on.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are able to kind of follow the cat, I guess, as you guys are going, and she rolled a 22 on her stealth, so she's able to follow. So as you guys kind of hang out a little bit further back and let her take the lead in her cat form, you make your way through the trades ward and up through the city here. Let's see here. Let me just double check.
City of the Dead. That's not ominous.
I know, right? That doesn't sound. That sounds like a really fun amusement park, doesn't it? Six Flags, Kennedy Lake Park, City of the Dead,
That's right.
Rocky Point, old enough.
So you take the high road all the way through the North Ward, and you end up actually at right up here, like that. You go through the whole city and end up in a like a stable area here with. Can you see that? Am I showing you? Like right here, with a small tavern that's here. And actually, as you guys get a little bit closer to this north yard, it starts to become a little bit more obvious that you are following. So you decide, I would assume, to kind of hang back. You guys are letting Micaiah do the work. You do see Issa jumps off your wagon and is like, "I'll catch up with you," and she heads off following the wagon and Micaiah. So we'll say about an hour after that. So Micaiah does have to use her ability again. I'm just gonna make a roll real quick. Is that on our end?
I think
Yeah,
there's
some-
one's right outside my window.
Such dicks.
I've
Yes,
still got
they
some
just
too.
launched 3 more.
Massholes. All right. Nope. I'm gonna roll for Issa. Where the fuck is okay? Atrocious. All right. So.
City of Skullport. That sounds pretty cool too.
Oops.
Jesus.
Oh.
Big Lundy is like a geographic master.
Yeah. Yeah, I was trying to read. I got the Volo's Guide to Waterdeep, but there's so much, and you guys aren't going to be here for very long, so I decided not to go crazy with it. So about an hour later, you guys are kind of hanging out in this north field ward here, waiting for them, and you do see Issa and Micaiah come back from their little excursion, and Micaiah is not a cat anymore. She is herself. And Micaiah comes forward, and she's about to speak, but then Issa is like, "So, we ended up seeing them. They are hanging out at a stable, well, at a tavern right next to this stable. There's a lot of them, lots of caravans coming through, and Micaiah's like, well, that was rude, like, because he's a just butted in. And
I hope Annie watches this.
So.
Hey, boo.
Okay, so, Issa tells you, like, okay, so they keep talking about this warehouse that's somewhere around here that they're all meeting at before they go over to that stable. I just was able to hang out a little bit, and I bumped into one of them and was able to get this note. And it looks like they're going further north. And she hands you this crumpled up note that she pulls out of her pocket. And I'll post it in the Discord once you guys get back over there, but it says, greetings, bearers of the glorious horde of the Dragon Queen. I have gone ahead to Naratar, so I will be unable to greet you when you arrive. However, I have arranged for your lodging here. Consolidate your wagons and sell any that you do not need. Then seek out Ardred Rifferhue, these fucking fantasy names, of the High Road Charter Company and join the next supply convoy bound for the work camp. This will reduce the risks of travel. When you reach the roadhouse, Bog Luck will show you where to unload. Your shipment will be collected from there. You may then return to Waterdeep and await further instructions. The Queen of Dragons will reward you for your aid in bringing about her return. To this, I add my own thanks for your work. And it's signed Wormspeaker Resmir.
What was the name that did you say Bollock? Like bollocks?
No, Bog, as in a, like, swamp, and Luck, as in lucky or unlucky. Bog Luck.
They said Bollock, which is like...
Naradar is the location that they mentioned, right?
Naratar, yeah, or however you say it, Naratar. I don't know how to say that, but yes.
Naruto. No, Bollocks is like how you say balls in like English parlance. That's why I was like, super surprised they came up with the name generator.
Balls. Balls will show you where to unload.
I would turn to the naked guy we picked up and ask him if Naratar is where if it has any meaning to him, like if he's heard of it, knows where it is.
He shakes his head, and he's like, unfortunately, no. However, and he looks over at you, Zan, and he's like, so about that harpist I was telling you about, and he kind of, like, does a little, like, let's go. And Issa, you see her, she just, like, goes like, ugh. We all know Carlon. And he's just like, gives her a little smile, and then he's like, Zan. And he starts walking down into the city to the south.
I follow with him.
And Issa looks at you guys, and she's like, so pretentious. All of them. So Zan, you follow Carlon down through the city here, taking first the high road, and then going, when you get further down here, I believe, you actually travel for quite a ways, and he tells you, he's like, so we're going to be going to a shop in kind of the more lucrative area of the city, a little bit closer, right on the outskirts of the, hold on, I forget the name. It's the castle, not the palace, because there are two in this fucking place. Shit! Sorry.
There's two castles here?
Yes, so there is Castle Waterdeep, and then there is the palace, Pierre
Damn.
Guerin's palace. And the castle is what's built right into
That was huge.
the edge of the mountain. So he says we're going to go. Where is it? It's right about here somewhere. There it is. Right here to a place called Hollambar Lutes and Harps. We've been using it for our stronghold for a while now. And as you continue down, you find this shop. It's on the east side of the street of the Sword, as you can see here. As you walk in, you can see that they sell all kinds of stringed musical instruments right when you walk in the door. As you had been walking, you kind of saw like little advertisements. This is a very large city, so you saw like, come to Hollambar's Lutes and Harps. And things that are probably more like clever than that, like a lot more clever than that. But you saw like little advertisements saying like to go there. So it seems like they're pretty well known. So when you walk in, so first before you go in, he's like, it is a little bit interesting, this place, but I'll just let you see for yourself. And you head on in the front door. And right when you walk in, you hear this like, ah, and you look over and you you see this this harp that is this small, dark traveling harp that's sitting on its own velvet-covered plinth, which is another word that I clearly didn't write down here. And it's above the reach of like where anybody could see. It's like right behind the front counter, and it's playing on its own these like old ballads and everything. And it kind of almost has this like light singing voice that doesn't sound like what I just did, but and
you tried. It's okay.
So you do see this like human man, long black hair and like large black pupiled eyes, and he's kind of standing with his like nose up a little bit, and he does seem to be helping out a customer who's looking at some lutes on the side, and he's like, I'll be right with you, and he's talking and like showing them like the curvature of the whatever. And as you're looking, you see that this harp is playing and like singing all by itself up on the top. And Carlon looks at you and he says, "So the rumor is said that this once belonged to a famous bard named Mintiper Moonsilver, but not everyone agrees that this is really the case. It is very, very old, and no one is really sure of all of its powers, but Hallambar here keeps it out of reach of everyone, so no one is allowed to touch it, and he is definitely not going to sell it." And as you're like looking around, you can see there's a lot of just very beautifully made string instruments, like lyres and lutes and harps and everything, and they look like they are very expensive. And as you're kind of standing there pretending a little bit, Carlon like brings you over and is like showing you. You hear the proprietor is like, "How can I help you? How can I help you?" And Carlon turns to him. and says, "We are here to look at the harps in the back." And Halimbar is like, "Oh, I see. Well, come this way." And he brings you guys over to this room a door that is right behind the front counter. First, he actually goes up to his front door as the patron he was talking to leaves, and he locks it. And then he brings you into the back room and just opens up the door so that you can go in. And you just see what looks to be like an office space. And it's like a half office, half this showcase of very, very expensive looking harps and lutes and some of the other stringed instruments. And he opens up the door and it says, "Well, you should know what to do," and then closes and locks it behind you, and then you can kind of hear him going back up to the front to unlock the door. And you watch Carlon go over to one of the harps, and from what you can tell, there's nothing that makes it stand out in any way. But he doesn't remove it from the shelf, but then does this a particular sound, and it causes the whole bookshelf as he steps away, or not bookshelf, but the shelf with the instruments and whatever on it, to shift over, and there's a door that he then opens, and it leads down into what appears to be a basement. And so he just says, "After you."
I walk down.
Jesus, that was fun. So he
Wait, did we all go? Or is it
No.
only Zan now?
No, it's
Okay.
just Zan.
We weren't invited.
No, you were not invited.
You guys chose not to join the Harpers.
Yes, he chose not to. Harper's only. So you head down into this basement, and it's actually pretty well lit. And as you get down to the bottom, it opens up into not a very big room. I'd say 15 by 15. Oh, we lost Arik.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I just can't see you. And you're covering Abaddon.
Yeah, you can see
Hey!
a giant
Hey!
Skype logo.
Hold on. Whoops. There we go. So you just let me know if you come back, because I have you off. Okay, so you, as you come down there, you see this human woman. So it's a very simple room. It's lit with some candles. And there doesn't seem to be much in there except for just a table with a couple of chairs, and it looks like there's this human woman sitting there who's eating some lunch, because about this time you guys got there about mid-morning, so right about now it's between lunch and dinner, 2 p.m. ish. And she stands up and looks, and she sees the two of you come down. And Carlon nods to her, and he says, "Hello, Brianna." And she says, "Oh, Carlon, it's so good to see you. When you didn't arrive a few days ago with the caravan that I had known you joined, I thought the worst. I'm very glad that you made it." And Carlon nods, and he looks over at you, Zan, and is like, "Well, I would not have, had I not happened upon another of our order here. This is Xander, a new initiate of ours." And Brianna comes over. She's got very, very dark skin with dark eyes and this straight black hair that flows down past her elbows. And so she comes over and nods to you, Zan, and is very nice to meet you. I am Brianna Kosgar. I am also fairly new to the order, but thank you so much for your help with bringing Carl on. So I had been given a little bit of a heads up about you, Zan, actually. And it appears that you have satisfied the first, I don't like to call it a test, but it appears that you have joined the order proper. And as a result, it is my honor to give you your symbol in tattoo form, wherever you see fit for it to be. And
so Zan goes off with this dude and he's gonna come back with a badass tattoo.
Carlon is like, I recommend somewhere a bit inconspicuous, as we have enemies everywhere, but I'm sure Orivius explained that to you. So where would you like your tattoo, Zan?
Since keep it inconspicuous so that it won't be just so
What? On the butt. I said what? On the butt.
He'll get it on the underside of his bicep.
Okay.
I thought you were gonna say butt.
Yeah, the underside of his butt.
Underside of the butt
please.
cheek.
Yeah,
Like
underbutt.
right where the little
Right.
The crease, right at the ledge.
Make it really hard to find when they strip search you.
Ooh. It's good to be new.
He just came
All right.
back. But
I think Arg's got some disturbance going on.
There is a disturbance.
Am I good?
there you go. You're better.
We
I
can hear
can
you.
see you. I can
Oh,
see
you
you.
can't? Oh, Jesus. Okay.
It
I just-
sounded
I just-
like a.
I had to restart it. Sorry.
Oh, it sounded like a train was going through your house. Hold on, I'm gonna try to. There you go. Okay.
Sorry about that. I tried to, I don't know why, but it froze and then I could hear you, but I couldn't see anything.
Hello.
So,
Hello. Am I good?
sorry, guys.
Okay. So over the next, I don't know, hour or so,
So where did he get his tattoo? I didn't hear that part.
on the
On his
crease,
underbutt.
Yeah, on his underbutt, like right where the crease is.
On his, under his butt cheek. For real?
No.
Yes.
Under the bicep.
on the butt of his arm, as Abaddon
really
said.
small under the butt.
Just really tiny. So whenever anyone in the
A
Harpers
face of
asks for proof, he
disappointment.
just bends over.
We're all disappointed.
I'm super disappointed.
All right.
That
So over the next hour or so,
I didn't even look.
it's not super big, but she gets to chatting with you, and Brianna explains to you that the next challenge on this journey of yours, Anne, is that you need to get hired as wagon escorts to the supply warehouse. We have determined that the cult is heading to Naratar, where there is a group of laborers whose job it is to help build the road between Waterdeep and Neverwinter and Sea Hall. So they are all meeting there. And Carlon pipes in at a certain point, and he says, "I believe you may have a bit of an added challenge here, as from what I understand, your group had Erdnot disguise himself as a merchant for this trip. However, he will not be able to go as a merchant forward, since the only people heading that way are laborers and their guards. Unless we can come up with another reason why he would be joining you, it would be best if he disguised himself or came up with some other ruse in order to join your journey. And Brianna nods, and she says, unlike the caravan that you took to get here, guards in Waterdeep are not hired by the individual wagon masters, but by the High Road Charter Company. And that is a consortium of guilds and noble houses that have partnered with Lord Neverember. And Lord Neverember is the Lord of Neverwinter. There is a commander named Ardred Brifferhue, and he commands the entire convoy that is heading up to Naratar. You will need to get hired there, which we can help with. But I guess as Carlon is saying, the only issue is your companion. I don't know how important it is that he join you on your way, but you'll have to come up with another way to get him there.
I will speak with them, and we will come up with some sort of cover for him.
Okay. So as that's happening, back with your group here, the rest of you, so Issa recommends, she's like, well, we've learned all that we really can at the moment. Why don't we go get a drink? What do you say? What do you say?
I say I came here with 6 kegs of ale to sell, and that's what I'm going to do before we do anything else.
Okay.
I slap Eckert on the chest and say, any kegs you sell, you can keep the gold.
Woo!
Alright, so you guys are going to go through to different places and try to sell these kegs?
Yes.
Yeah, let's go hawk some wares.
Alright,
Well, I'm
let's
not
see.
bringing it with us anywhere else we go.
So
How much are they worth? Or not?
5 gold a keg.
5 gold a keg.
Yep.
Unless I want to raise the price, but that's
Well, you're in
what the
Waterdeep.
interwebs tells me.
Oh, the 5 a keg? That seems steep.
Yeah. Well, I think, you've been tossing gold like you're a fucking rich man, but like one drink costs like 2 copper pieces. So, right, is it 2 copper pieces or 2 silver pieces?
It's whatever. I don't remember what you.
I have
whatever
it
your price
written
is,
somewhere. It's not as expensive as you think. You're like 1 drink for the house. You plop a gold down, and it's like the house is drinking for the rest of the fucking day. And now you're like, I'm
I
poor.
spent it. Yeah. That's what happens. Basically, like anybody who plays for like a professional sport.
So-
Decked out. Like, I was all iced up, and then now I'm just destitute.
You're the MC. You're the MC Hammer of the group.
Baggy pants. Yes.
DM, I want to go away with Issa for a drink.
Okay. So.
Vidania, do you want to come?
Yeah, sure.
All right, Micaiah will join the ladies.
Girls
So
drink.
Erdnot and Arik, you
That's
head
gonna be a giggle outing.
down through the city. Erdnot, roll me a D100.
D100.
Oh.
Yeah.
Go that high?
Damn.
Yep. 2 D10s, or it should be. I don't know what you're using. Are you using D&D Beyond?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just tell me what it came to.
18.
18.
Yeah.
Are you sure?
If this is rolling correctly, when I was rolling it earlier, it was showing me like one number, but then a different thing on roll 20.
Okay, so it told you 18. It said D100 18.
It says custom roll
1
right,
D100.
two
Okay. All right.
100. Yes.
All right. So you are able to sell one of your kegs for 5 gold, and the rest. Roll me again. Just one more D100.
Can I persuade anybody to buy any?
Yeah, I'll say. Well, what's your
Should
persuasion?
sell itself.
That's why my persuasion is a +4.
Oh yeah.
Look, are you the
So
one to persuade? All right, go ahead.
I'll say
18 again.
Roll again.
Am I rolling right?
Is that an 18 again?
Yeah.
Do it again just to make sure that it's not glitched or something.
I'm not seeing anything in D20, buddy.
No, he's doing it on D&D Beyond.
No, I just rolled the third time and it was 51, so I got two 18s.
All right, so yeah, we're gonna stick with one of them you sold for 5 gold. You had 6 in your thingy.
Yeah.
Okay, so roll me another D100 with advantage. So roll twice, and take the higher of the two, because Arik is using his persuasion to help.
Holy crap!
Oh, hold on. I'm not used to these 3D dice. Another 57, and then a 24.
Okay.
So 57 and a 24.
All right, so you are able to sell 1 keg for 5 gold, 3.
I'm hearing you on somebody's.
I think that's Pat's.
Oh.
I think that's Zan's.
Is
What?
it still?
Yeah, I can still hear it.
Yeah. Hear myself.
1 keg for 5 gold, 3 kegs for 4, and 2 kegs for 3. So a total of, what's that, 12, 17, plus 6, so 23. 23 gold pieces.
Did we have any kegs left at all, or was that all 6?
Well, I brought a smaller one that we've been drinking from, but like those are the 6 like. Yeah, I brought like a small barrel that is like for us to drink, and then the other 6 that I brought are like full wooden kegs. So I give Eckert over there half the bounty.
Look at that! I'm not super poor. I mean, I'm still poor, but I'm not penniless. So how much did we make total?
23, I think it was, if I did my math right, which I may or may not have. 5 plus 12, 17 plus 6, 23.
So
want me to take 11 of that?
I'll be generous and let you take 12.
Oh boy. I haven't had money for so long that I'm actually having to look on the page to see where like the currency is so I can write it in. And I can't find. Is it under equipment? Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I actually had to look. Oh Jesus.
All right, so you guys are able to do that. The ladies, you guys.
Quick, what do we do with like the wagon? Like, do we sell that, or we turn it into like the nearest like enterprise rent-a-car?
You bought that wagon. You bought that wagon. You didn't
okay.
rent it.
Okay, I thought it was a rental.
You bought that wagon for like 48 gold.
Alright.
Probably still-
Until I know we don't need it, then I'm gonna. Well, we weren't privy to Sans tattoo
Yeah.
sessions, so
Well,
I'm
this
not gonna
takes
get rid of it. I just
this
got rid
takes
of
you
it.
several hours to do. So, because you gotta like go through the city and figure out and chat and blah blah blah. So that while you guys are doing that, the ladies head on to go find a place to drink. And so you guys go down to the south where it's a little bit, let's see, a little bit like a little cheaper.
I like it.
And find a tavern. We'll just go with some random ass tavern that you find. But on your way, as you're walking down the road here, through the tradeway and down, you guys end up taking as you walk down the high road, you turn right onto the Way of the Dragon and start heading through the trades ward. And as you do so, you suddenly hear this like voice go, Micaiah? And you see, I know I'm getting to do the voice and Micaiah's not even here. And Micaiah stops and she looks over, actually like right as you were passing someone, and there's this tall, very elegant looking, although kind of plainly dressed elf woman. She's got long blonde hair that's tied into a big braid, but then kind of pulled up into a bun at the like nape of her neck. And she looks at Micaiah, and Micaiah looks at her, and you see this recognition on Micaiah's face, and she says, Lissa. And you look, and the woman that she's speaking, or the elven woman that she's speaking to, is holding like a bag with what looks to be like sewing equipment and stuff in it, and it's like a basket. And she says, Micaiah, what are you doing here? And Micaiah's like, Lissa, I didn't even know you made it. And then the two of them kind of like Micaiah's like, I'll catch up with you later. All right? And Issa's like, yeah, okay, all right, let's go. And she's like, family reunions all over the place, am I right, Vidania? And she keeps heading down to bring you to just like a dive bar. You don't even see a name on the top of the like above the door, and you leave Micaiah to catch up with this Lissa person for a bit. So you go down into, or not down, but you go into this kind of divey bar. There's all types in there, and it's a little bit rowdy. I'm gonna try to see if I can find my my music that I like. It's like called The Lord or something. Lord of the Land? I'm gonna look for it. So what are you guys doing?
Can you guys hear the music?
No, you can't. Sorry, only the people. I'm gonna have to work on that.
Okay.
Only the viewers can. Right. I'm gonna have to make sure it's not too fucking loud. There we go. Okay, so what are you guys doing? Just there to have a drink?
Yeah, how busy is it there?
It's pretty busy. Zan, I think there's feedback on your end, actually, I can hear.
Oh, you know what? It might be the air. I just turned the air on, so
okay.
it's getting warm in here under the light.
No problem. Which actually I'll ask our chat. Is everybody, can you hear everybody? Because we switched over to Skype, and I just want to make sure that we're hearable. Or if I have to like...
Imagine if we were silent this whole time.
Hopefully people would say something. At least when that happened back in the day, nobody was watching us, so... Alright, so what are you guys doing? It's pretty busy. It's divey. It's like got the mood lighting, and you see it can probably fit like maybe 40 people in there. our taco punching baby can hear us. So. Oh wait, no, these are baby punching tacos. Like these are tacos that are punching babies.
Punching taco baby. We
That's
go
not
to you in
nice.
the fields.
So thank you for letting us know. Okay. So there appears to be like a half orc, half human bartender, woman, female behind the bar, just tending bar, like laughing raucously with a bunch of patrons there. There's dwarves, there's humans, there's halflings. It's a pretty diverse crowd. There does not appear to be any barmaids or anything. So it's kind of like everybody just has to be at the whim of the barkeep. But Issa kind of like scoots through and gets right up to the bar. And it's like, 3 ales, please. And she gets like the attention of the barkeep, who's still like chatting with somebody else, but gets the ales ready and then just kind of slides them over. Slams her hand on the table a couple times, and then Issa reaches into her pouch and drops 6 copper on the counter, and then grabs the cups, and you see her. It's kind of like cute because she looks, she's the size of our toddlers, essentially, our 4-year-olds, coming with like these big mugs, and she steps over to you both and hands one to each of you, and keeps one, and she's like, all right, let's find a place to sit. And then you guys are able to find a table that's kind of set off, not like creepily in the back, but like, it's private-ish where you're sitting. Most of the people seem to be kind of crowding more towards the bar, where it seems that the barkeep is like very good at engaging everybody in conversation and keeping everyone buying drinks.
So Issa, what's your take on the James situation? What do you think happened?
She's like, really unfortunate. I mean, young guy,
who do you think did it?
Wrong place, wrong time. I mean, I don't know. Who do you think did it? And she takes a sip of her drink.
I don't know. I have no idea.
People die all the time. I mean, I don't wonder about every single one of them. And he was a guard, right? So it happens.
That's true.
What are you gonna do?
Yeah. Poor Philok. She's
Yeah.
so sad.
And Issa just kind of looks at you, and she's like, and she just keeps drinking. But you do see her looking like at you as you're talking in a kind of like, roll an insight check.
Oh wait, where's my thing? 19. Ooh.
So as she's like drinking, I don't have actually any wine, which is unfortunate for me. And I don't even have my mug, but she's doing that thing kind of where I've got my water, so this isn't gonna be very dramatic. But where she's like looking at you, but like drinking very slowly, and you're not even sure if she's actually drinking anything. She's just kind of like looking at you over the rim of her glass. And not with like a smile, like not this, like as she's smirked, but then her smile goes away and she just kind of looks at you like you should drop it.
So this is a nice place.
Right. She's like, yeah, I come here sometimes.
Really dig the wallpaper.
Barkeep's nice. I never remember her name, but yeah, this is a good place. Yeah. Real nice.
Issa, are you gonna stick around here for a while?
No, I think I'm gonna join you guys for a while. I think that'd be a fun time. I mean, I'm pretty much looking for the same thing you are, so what better place to be than with a bunch of strangers who may or may not know what's going on. But you seem like you can hold up on your own, and
somewhere across the city are not shutters. He doesn't know why.
You made it. I mean, that's there's something to be said for making it across from Baldur's Gate all the way. That's pretty impressive. You guys known each other long?
No, not really.
This girl's a weirdo.
She's like, hey, so Vidania, I saw that you informed your group of your relations
Yeah,
with the Pope.
I just, you know, she's really just brainwashed by them. I don't know. I'm a little nervous about how she might react when she sees that I followed her again. So I figured for their safety, they should know.
Yeah, that's a good call. It's a good call. It's always good to be, forthright with the people that you're with. Tell them stuff and don't lie. That kind of builds trust. You can have each other's backs. So that guy you're traveling with, Eckert or Trogdor or Arik, you guys were calling him, so you guys know his story? Because it looks like there's a little notice for him over there too. And looking up on the bulletin board that's in the bar, you can see that familiar writ of force that you guys saw in the Brew Bottle Tavern that has Arik Firesong's name. Except
Oh shoot!
at the bottom,
Shit.
the price has been crossed out again, and it says 800 gold pieces.
Oh my
Some
god.
shit on my hand. What the fuck? What if I killed a bug or something? Inadvertently.
I'd turn me in. 800 gold, sure.
Like, so how well you know him?
Not very well.
Looks like he killed a guy. Like a really important guy.
Well, we might not know the whole story.
Yeah, that's true.
He's really nice, though. Even though he tried to kill me once.
He's like,
I'll just be like,
For some reason across the city, Arik suddenly shows.
Other than that, he's really nice.
alright, if you say so. So, Abaddon, what's your story? And she just keeps on sipping.
Abaddon's kind of not been paying close attention and just kind of watching everybody. And so I'm just gonna be like, my story. Well, but we've been traveling for a long time together. I needed out of that city. You know what I mean?
So you're from Baldur's Gate?
Sure I am. Born and raised.
Nice.
Well, not really sure if I was born there, but I was definitely raised there.
Oh, not sure if you were born there. What do you mean?
Well, I was adopted when I was really young, too young to remember. But my dad's fantastic. He owns a bar there.
Oh yeah, what bar?
Oh, Dying Dog. Have you been?
Yeah, I definitely have. Never seen you there though.
Really? Well, I worked behind the bar for most of my life. Just recently left to just kind of see a little bit of the world, and I mean, the people around there, they can be a little judgmental of others.
Oh yeah, that's Baldur's
We thought
Gate
it might
for
be
ya.
best for business.
Yeah. Well, probably not wrong. You know what people say about half demons, right?
I do indeed, Issa.
I mean, what are you gonna do? It's the hand you were dealt.
Well, what were you doing there?
I travel here and there for work. Traveling saleswoman,
What are you selling?
Information.
Huh.
It's kind of
You
what
sell
I deal
it?
in. Oh yeah. There's always people willing to buy information.
Well, that's cool. Glug, glug, glug.
Alright, so you guys kind of sit there and watch around the bar there. And so I don't know how you guys are going to meet up. You all spread out everywhere.
I was just going to ask, can Zan just kind of go back to where he last left and just kind of go?
Yeah, so after a few hours, like, you guys, even Micaiah, who got caught up doing her own thing, you guys end up all meeting back up where you left in the first place, because you all kind of come to the same conclusion of, like, we don't know where everyone is. Let's just stay where we all left each other in the first place. So eventually you all do come together. It's probably about, like, 8 or so at night by the time that happens. But yeah, you do have your cart. But when you come together, obviously Zan can inform you of what Brianna said about the caravan. And Arik, as you're going through the city,
Can I throw on my, like, a hood, my thing map?
yeah, sure.
And I want to alert Arik very quietly, just be like, hey, they've got signs all over this place.
Yes, so
I bet he would have seen something.
Shit!
yeah, so
I'm not assuming anything.
Is this like a video game where you can tear down the wanted posters and your star rating goes down, like, so that 100
you do see written notices throughout the city. Arik, you would be mostly paying attention to this, that declare, and Issa had kind of given you a heads up about this, that Lord Amsel is asking for able-bodied men and women to join his new army, the Sea Hall New Order. All soldiers will receive, you see this on the notices, 25 gold upon sign-up, room, board, equipment, and everything provided for the first year by the city of Sea Hall, and then a monthly stipend to be determined upon experience. And when you go by some of these notices as you're going through the city for the next several hours, you do overhear some people talking about, and as you're going in through the taverns and everything, that there are some rumors, as Issa had mentioned, that Lord Amsel had a bad captain of his last army that led all to slaughter, and then returned and killed the prior lord, Hammond. And then other rumors, some other people, like, as they're talking, like, no, I heard that Peter was the one who led the army, and then lied. But when the army leader returned, Hammond made a fool of Peter, and then it was just what a coincidence that his father ended up dead very soon after. You also hear some people talking about, like, the Lady of Sea Hall and how she's never seen, and some say that, like, oh, she's gone mad, and others say that Peter doesn't let her be seen or leave the High Hall, and others are saying that she's still just in grieving because it's only been a couple of months. But as Issa had mentioned to you, that morale in Sea Hall is shaken, and there were, like, as you know, like 250 or so, 200 to 300 citizens of the city who were killed in that massacre, and they were people's family and friends, and, you know, real people with families and children and mothers and fathers and sisters and friends and everything. And because there are so many questions about what happened, there is unrest in the city. People are not allowed to speak ill of Lord Amsel or openly question his version of events. And you also hear, which kind of confirms something that you already knew and what Issa had sort of alluded to as well, is that people say that there were 2 traitors that were captured trying to aid the disgraced army captain on his escape, and they hang outside the front gate to Sea Hall, and one of them is in several pieces. And there are some additional rumors that there might be rumblings of an uprising, but it's hard to confirm either way. So these are all, like, as you go through for the next few hours, and then, like, are listening in on people chatting about the notices and whatnot, because, I mean, 25 gold upon sign-up is a lot of money. It's kind of like, where's this money even coming from? But it definitely is enticing people to head up that way.
Where is Sea Hall from where we are?
Alright.
Oh, you were asking me. I thought you were asking the DM.
Oh, I just said it out loud, sorry.
North of here. A few hundred miles, I believe, DM?
Yeah, it's about 400 miles.
Few hundred miles from here, north.
Is it past Neverwinter, or?
No, it's south of Neverwinter. It's right about the middle between us and Neverwinter.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's sometimes winter.
Middle winter. Water winter. I would stick to the shadows as best as I can while I'm listening to all that, trying to glean as much information as I could. Obviously, feeling a mix of shame when I hear people saying that it was my fault, and pride whenever I hear people talking about how it wasn't my fault, and just trying to hear everything I can, but definitely trying not to be seen, sticking to the shadows, my hood over my head, just like sticking with the group, and hopefully nobody sees me.
Okay. There isn't a picture of you or anything. It's just your name. But how about make a?
Do you guys hear that?
Yeah, I think it's
A little.
click.
No,
Yeah.
no, not that.
Yeah, I think it's my air conditioner. It's really
alright,
hot.
sorry.
Really hot in my room.
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't something on my end because I have the fan right there. All right, sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say a stealth check.
No, I was gonna say don't say stealth check. Oh, you gonna make me do this?
Wait, shouldn't he roll at advantage because of his hat?
You know what
That
I'll
would
say?
still-
You can roll.
That would still only be a straight roll
Yeah, I
because
was
he
gonna
has
say, I'll
disadvantage.
let you have a straight roll instead of disadvantage. Because
Somebody,
it's 4th of July.
somebody kiss that dice. I don't care who it is. Somebody kiss it. That
It
isn't
can't be
me,
me, I'm
please.
the DM.
Not pretty enough to kiss dice.
I just don't want Corona.
That's an 11.
It's not terrible.
No, I don't think. Actually, hold on. Do I have a plus? Please hold. I'm sorry. I have a +1 to stealth, so it's a 12.
Yeah, so you feel like
Even though I have a big fat D right there, a big fat disadvantage.
Big fat D on yourself.
I'm sorry. As soon as I said it, I was like, "There's a D right next to the damn."
Yeah, so you feel like you did a pretty good job of sticking to the shadows.
With your big fat
With
dick.
the big fat teeth.
Lugging that D around. It's the cross I bear. What can I say? We all have burdens.
So you all come together and have something to discuss, which is how to get Erdnot. Essentially, what Zan has been told is that you have to go to the High Road Charter Company to get hired, and that goes along with the note that Issa was able to take off of somebody up in the stable area. That you need to join the next supply convoy that's bound for the work camp and get going on there, but you'll be traveling with cultists who may or may not include, some of the people who were in the group that you just came up with. So, you can't, Erdnot, you can't be like, well, now I'm a guard. Because they will be like, okay, this is clearly suspicious.
I can do what I want.
Switching up, changing jobs. I decided merchanting was not for me.
Side hustle.
So are we gonna gather, for dinner or something?
Sure.
And chat, guys?
And
Can we get some mozzarella sticks and talk about this?
Should probably chat in private.
I was gonna say we should probably try to find an inn or a room, someplace to stay for the night, so we can discuss.
Yeah.
You don't know who's
A
listening.
really dark, quiet place.
Yeah, so this field ward is easy enough to find a place. Let's see. Nope, you don't want to go there. The End Shift Tavern, where the off-duty members of the city guard go. You don't want to go there. But yeah, so
Come on.
we'll say you're able to find just a small another dive, but up in this field ward area where that serves food.
Okay.
All right. So what are you chatting about?
Are we in our
I don't
room
remember.
now?
Did they say how long until the cultists were leaving, or is it we're gonna have to kind of watch for them?
So you get the impression that it's probably right away. It seems like, so when Issa and Micaiah were watching and then they came back, that the cultists are coming from various parts and unloading at this warehouse and then meeting there. So there's probably it's probably just continuous, but they did say that you need to join the next supply convoy. So it's probably coming up very, very soon. Maybe the
Is there
next dinner.
a specific reason it had to be the next one? We can't wait and see which one the people who'd recognize us would be in and then go in the one after them?
Well, you don't know. All you know is what was in this note, which says to join the next supply convoy bound for the work camp. That is what the note that Resmir left the cultist said.
Oh, okay.
Is Issa in the room with us?
Yep. Unless you kick her out. But she's just...
Haven't
I
done
vote
that.
she
She's
leaves.
with us now.
No. Oh.
It's like,
Where's the
ah,
naked
I think-
guy? Is he back at the tattoo parlor?
Yeah, he didn't come back with you guys. With Van. He's doing his own thing now.
I think that the first thing we should plan on is finding the where we need to go and get Erdnot either a disguise or change his appearance so that he won't be recognized. And I think it's best if we do this as fast as possible because we don't know when they're leaving. Could be tomorrow, the day after. I don't think we have time to spare.
Should we shave him?
You're gonna
Hey, puts his hand on his
all of them
neck.
down.
You can try.
I'll hold him down. You shave him. I don't know where you're gonna find hair though. So be prepared.
Well, we'll be taking the same cart too. Is there anything recognizable about that or our horses?
Well,
I think we're probably gonna have to at least ditch the cart if we're gonna be guards of their wares. Maybe we can sell the cart, but I don't think it's gonna help us having the cart if we're trying to pose as guards for the cult, basically.
Agreed. I have no idea how to disguise myself. I'm at a complete loss right here.
What if we just dye? I mean, you have a bright white beard. What if we dye it just a different color? We don't have to
I
cut it.
still have the same face.
Maybe you could try smiling,
Oof.
and then no one will recognize you.
Big oof. Yo.
I smile plenty.
Per-
Coloring my beard is not gonna hide this nose, this scar, and these tattoos.
Issa turns to you, Vidania, and she's like, "Good one," and she holds her hand up.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm gonna fist bump her.
perhaps our new friend who's familiar with the city might know of a place that might sell either disguises or perhaps something that can change his appearance magically so that he won't be recognized.
Issa looks, she's like, "Are you talking about me? I'm your new friend?"
No.
You've tried to subtly help us thus far and haven't acted aggressively. I would consider that a friend.
Well, how very sweet of you, Zan. 2020.
At least not an enemy.
A helpful nuisance.
She actually looks at she's
Zan
like,
doesn't have a lot of friends, so he doesn't have a high bar to set.
She looks at you, Erdnot, and she's like, and she kind of steps right up, and she's only 3 feet tall, and I think you're like 4 feet tall, right?
7 inches taller than her.
Okay, so you're on the short end for a dwarf. So she's like almost making eye contact, and she's like, "I can work with this. I'm actually pretty good at making people look different than they are. I do it for myself all the time."
Oh, I brought a makeup kit.
Yeah, that'd be helpful. You want me to give it a shot? Are you willing to dye your hair?
You have to,
He
Ernie.
just lets out a very big, grumpy sigh.
Alright.
Make him pretty.
You shave even 1 centimeter, and I will shave you in half.
That doesn't make any sense, but it's cute. She's like, "Can I, like, braid, or am I allowed to touch the beard?" You know how you dwarves can be.
Not allowed. What was that music? Did anyone hear that? Am I going
Yeah, I
insane?
heard it.
Yeah, sorry, I'm changing rooms. Julie's going to bed.
Good night, Julie. One day I will see you again to get my hair did.
Night.
One day.
Yeah, I didn't do that great of a job on it.
She's a professional
better.
hairdresser, so I'm going to go to her. It's growing in. It's okay. Alright, so over the next hour or so, alright, let's see what my role is. Efficiency. Oops.
So it doesn't matter if we look the same because we're like hired help through the agency thing.
Yeah, you guys were
Supposedly.
You guys were guards hired for Erdnot, as far as the cultists were aware. It's just Erdnot being a merchant.
The merchant.
Yeah,
Okay.
that would
Need a reason.
right.
A great plan. Now biting us in the ass.
Maybe we can forge like a letter or something that says your cousin overtook your business and is cutting you out.
So actually, with advantage from Abaddon's help with her makeup kit and helping her out, she rolled a 22. So Erdna, so after the next couple of hours, she's braided his hair differently, dyed it this much darker, like almost a jet black. Used the makeup kit to cover up the tattoos on the side of your head so that it's not there. Kind of used it to fill in some of the creases so you look a little younger. She's contoured a little bit here. There's like braids in areas.
Can
on the
she do
beard
me
that there
too?
Wasn't.
I know, seriously, right?
And the scar over his eye.
Yeah, she covers
just
up that
make
as
go
well.
away.
She's just like, she works some magic on you, and she
Let's
kind of
imagine
steps back.
Imagine like one of the YouTube makeup people that Jalen watches. Like, okay, so it's like this is what I use here.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yep. Exactly. That's actually, so my sister is one of those people.
Oh, there you
Tia
go.
Taylor on YouTube. She's got 300,000 subscribers. So yeah, she does that, and when she steps back, you guys are like, "Holy shit, Erdnot!" And but you can tell it's him because he's like,
So grumpy.
Does anyone have any platform shoes?
I'm 6 feet tall. I don't need those.
"Man, let me see what else she's got here." No, she's
She have
just got
like
her-
Elton John shoes.
She's
I was gonna say, shoes
part
Prince
of her
would wear.
disguise kit.
I want some disco stew shoes with the fish inside.
There you go.
She's like, "There you go. You look like 100 years younger."
Oddly enough, that's true.
Now no one will know. You just have to come up with a better name.
Frog door.
I'm Googling it.
She looks at Ark. She's like, "I would recommend not Trogdor. Not
I said-
that same name."
I said frog door with
Oh.
an F. I know my letters with my 9 intelligence.
It'll be like a what is that movie with Schwarzenegger and DeVito?
Twins.
Twins.
Yeah, but we are brothers.
Go for a twins vibe. Alright, so you've solved the mystery
Shrugged.
of how you're going to get with the wagon.
Baby Punching Taco suggested
Trogdor.
Trogdorini. Yes.
Is it only... Does the charter the supply convoy, are there regular dudes going up there, or just culty people? Or do we not know?
So if you guys spend the night, then the next day you go up to the High Road Charter Company and meet up. There is the human man there. He's he's kind of sitting behind a desk as you guys approach the charter company. He's decked out in like a little bit like a guard's uniform, but with like a little bit extra, and he looks a little extra as well. Like he looks like he's really into being like the leader of this convoy thing. And so he's filling out some paperwork on it before like heading out. And when you go in, he is like, "Can I help you?" He like barely looks up. And Issa looks at you all like, "It's all you."
We're looking for
I
work.
look at Zan.
Alright, that's it. What kind of work?
It's got the info here.
Yes, we're traveling guards. We're looking for more work. We had just arrived in Waterdeep from Baldur's Gate and looking to move on to the next job.
All right. He looks up from what he's doing really quick, and he kind of scans all of you, like looking up and down and everything, and he squints his eyes and looks at Issa, and then looks over, and he's looking at all. He's like, "All right, next convoy, 6 wagons. I guess I only need 6 more escorts after you." He starts writing names.
Xander.
This is just to get you paid and for my paperwork. I just need something. Xander. Next.
Abby.
He looks at you when you say it. He's like, Abby. Come on, I don't have all day. Let's go. Trogdor. Next.
Danny.
Danny. Issa goes, Issa.
What?
What did Google say?
Orgith.
Oh.
Orgith.
He looks at Orgith. I'm just writing it how it's spelled. And he writes it down. And he's like, this is a 10-day journey. I can offer you 5 gold apiece. You'll be paid when you arrive. We leave. And he takes a look at some of his paperwork. Like, you have 6 hours. We'll be gone by noon. Meet here. Then he nods. And it's like,
we need to find a place to sell the wagon that we bought for this trip.
So you guys paid about 50 gold, I think, for your wagons. Roll me a D100 again.
Okay, let's try to reimburse ourselves here. Don't roll 18 again, motherfucker.
Could I try to help him sell it?
Ooh, 84.
Either through intimidating the person or trying to persuade them. Just yelling at people, buy the goddamn wagon!
So, roll me... Well, which one do you want to do?
I suppose I'll try to persuade.
Okay.
I'll be nice.
Roll me a persuasion check.
Oh shit.
This baby's got low miles. Slap the wheel.
This can fit so many cultists in it. That's a 14. That's a 14 plus 4. That's an 18.
Okay. So with Arik's help, you are able to get 22 gold for your wagon.
Half the value.
Not bad. Alright.
And when you meet up, is there anything else anybody wants to look for while you're in Waterdeep? Anything you want to try to... You have
healing potions looking.
Let me check the bag. No, I didn't want docs. I wanted Google Sheets.
Are there any fancy rope stores?
definitely.
We have 9 common healing potions and 1 greater. In addition to whatever everyone has, and then we also have we do have 469 gold pieces, 247 silver, and a little over 1,000 copper. And then we get a bunch of gems, so if there's stuff that people want to go look to buy, now's the time.
Well, I've still only got 12 gold, so I'm not going to afford much, and I don't want to make a withdrawal from the group bank, so...
Do you guys need any arrows or anything?
I believe I'm still good on arrows.
Yeah, I could use some arrows. Unless, yeah.
Let's
I'll
get
get
you
some
some arrows.
I'll get
Yeah.
some arrows.
Let's
Yeah.
fucking load up on
Why
the
not?
arrows.
I've got 7 arrows. Yeah. That's good. To the arrow store.
Okay.
Arrows and rope.
To the arrow store.
Alright, so you all are heading to, we'll say, probably not the, like, very expensive area of the city for looking for arrows, I would assume.
I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
We want like a mid-range arrow store. You know, not like the Gucci of arrow stores.
Are you looking for, just regular arrows, or are you looking for, like, enchanted arrows?
What kind of enchanted arrows do they have?
Well, what, are you looking for stuff that, can do more damage? Or, like, there's so much, so it's better if you...
Oh, no, never mind, because, like I said, I'm
Fire
spending money on
damage,
the group coffer, so I'll just get some regular arrows, then. Unless somebody else wants fancy arrows, too.
I'll take some regular.
Okay. Alright, so
Yeah,
arrows. Let's see here. We've got, you can get 20 arrows for 15 gold. I believe EP is worth 5 gold each.
What was the last part you said? I only heard the first part, 15.
20 arrows for 15 gold.
Okay.
Is it alright if I take something out of the bag of holding, some gems or something like that?
For 15 gold, we got a couple of gems that are worth 10 gold apiece, but you might be. It'll just be easier if you just want to take 15 gold from the.
Okay. Alright. If that's acceptable to everybody else. Alright. So there we go. And that's. You said that was 20 DM?
20.
Yes. Sorry, it's actually a gold and a half. So 1 gold, 5 silver for 20 arrows.
Wait, what?
1 gold, 5 silver for 20 arrows.
Oh, okay. That's way cheaper than I thought you said 15 gold.
I did. It has it in EP instead of GP, so I got
okay.
Electrum,
Gotcha.
which is worth
1
Hold on,
gold
hold
and
on.
what silver?
patent pieces. Nope, sorry,
Alright.
I'm wrong again. Hold on. Hold on, sorry. This is confusing. I don't know why there is even an Electrum. It's fucking stupid.
I'm just gonna look at the shop. I'm just gonna look at the shopkeep and be like, "Come on, one gold sounds like a fair deal."
Yeah, no, that's
I
right.
like. Okay.
1.5 gold.
What about 1 gold? What about 1 gold?
So in this part of the town, this particular shopkeep is like, no.
Alright, fine. Be that way.
Alright, I'll buy your arrows for you.
Oh. Alright. Oh, thank you very. I just look at her and be like, thank you.
You're welcome.
And,
You're gonna make him feel bad. Sooner or later, he's gonna turn himself in for the money.
I know. Just to pay back my friends.
Since we're in a large city, Zan just wants to check to see if there's any not magic shops or places that have magic items like bracers of defense or boots of elvenkind or anything like that.
Yes, there is. So bracers of defense. Okay. So you are able to find an enchantment, like an armor that specializes in enchanted armor, and they tell you the bracers of defense is going to run you about 6,000 gold. And what was the other one? Elvenkind. Boots of Elvenkind is about 2,600 gold.
Now that I know how much they are, I can save up.
And when you say that, they're like, thank you.
And Xana's just gonna fade into the background.
Can Ernot look for like a Coles or something? So he wants to just get different clothes in case I run into a cultist or someone who might see through this very easily disguised, but hey, you have a different face, but you're wearing the same exact clothes. So I just need some new rags to throw on my armor.
Clothes?
I mean, if there's magic clothes that isn't stupid expensive, I mean...
What do you want the magic... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Or not, we have the robe of Cloy if you wanted to try that.
What does that do?
It allows the wearer to cast friends.
That sounds cool, but Ernot doesn't like people.
It might be good to trick them. We also have a hunter's cap that we took too. You can wear that.
You might want to change your armor. Go to an armorer and possibly change the look of it, because they'll probably recognize you in your armor with weapons.
Not you, Siri. I wasn't talking to you. Can I do that? I don't want to switch out my armor, but
Issa says she
hammer
can
something
help you
new on
out with that too, and she kind of dings your armor a little bit, and she uses her disguise kit to kind of mess with your armor slightly so that it still functions the same, but it looks a little bit different. It looks a little bit more weathered or whatever, so she can do that as part of that disguise that she put together for you. But if you're looking for a new set of regular clothes, that will run you about... Hold on. That'll run you about... it'll run you about nine silver pieces.
Lululemon.
About 9 silver pieces for another set of common clothes.
That come with some boots.
We have some boots with silver buckles.
Yeah, you have.
Oh shit! All right,
Yeah.
I'll take that cape that makes friends, and I'll take the silver buckled boots, and then I'll grab a new pair of pants and shirt, I guess.
Okay.
And you have to attune to that. Just a heads up.
All right.
Did I make that for you, Abaddon?
What's that?
The cloak, is it a thing that you have that he can put on?
It's in the bag right now. Is that?
Oh no, I meant in D&D Beyond. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I made it a thing that you guys can add. What was it called? The cloak of
the Cloy robe of resurgence.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you did because you did it. You did it fancy.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So am I reading this right? If I use it says, for the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature of your choice that isn't hostile towards you. When the spell ends, the creature realizes that you used magic to influence its mood and it becomes hostile towards you. Am I reading something else, or is that what this thing does?
That's what you can do. Once per day, you can cast Friends, and it resets at midnight.
Okay.
DM, do I have to replenish that makeup kit?
No.
Okay.
That's fine. She rolled very well, so she was able to utilize it without going through the entire thing. You still have we'll say you have one more use of that particular makeup kit.
Okay.
Did you say my clothes was 9 silver?
9 silver, yep.
Okay.
Anything else? Anybody wants to try to grab while you're in the city. I'll let Micaiah kind of retcon anything she wants to buy, but
Well, did we want to try to find potions? Did we already decide that we did that we were going to do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
all right. These people still going with their
Fucking dumb.
Fucking them.
All right, so let's see. So roll me an investigation check. I had been forgetting to do that, so I'll just do that first.
Who's that? Anybody or?
I have a +3. I'm usually pretty good at investigation.
Yep, whoever wants to do it for looking for your potions.
16.
All right. So you are able to find, you're able to find an artificer, an alchemist shop. Sorry, I'm looking at a different one. You can get potions of healing for 85 gold. This shop only has one potion of regular healing. There are 2 potions of greater healing for 507 gold each. Or,
Jeez.
or
The city's expensive.
you can get ooh, that's a lot. Nope, never mind, I'm not even going to say it. So, they also have potions of climbing, fire breath, a filter of love, clairvoyance. There's a bunch of stuff at this shop.
Oh,
How much is the fire breath one?
313 gold.
One thing that Zan wants to do, I don't know if you remember, Arik, when you found the globe, you also found a
little
vial
thing
with
of
a
liquid,
milky
yeah.
red liquid. Can we find some place to identify what that liquid is?
Yeah. Let me just do a quick lookup of how much an identify. Alright, so, yes, you are able to find let's see.
Does anybody in the group have identify as a spell if you pay for this?
Ari!
Where are you, Ari?
Sorry, gone. So you were able to find a shop where someone does some spell cast as like Steve's spellcasting services, and there's a guy named Steve in there, and he will charge you 20 gold to identify the vial.
Do we want to take that out of the community?
Just use two of the gems. Unless some actually are the gems needed for like casting spells and stuff for you guys?
No,
Not
I
yet.
don't think so.
Well, not yet. No.
Yeah, so never mind. Just use the gold for it.
Okay, we'd like to identify that, please.
Alright, so I need to just find that. You guys
Since I
found
don't-
that,
I believe it was off the Hobgoblin
Yeah, the
who had
captain.
Yeah, it was the one who had the globe.
where is it? I know exactly what it is, but I want to have the actual description of it. Oh, okay. It was right when you very first.
Jesus.
That wasn't in my house.
Nope, that's me. That's downtown.
Alright, stranded. Okay. Got it. Alright, found it. Sorry about that. So Steve is like, he kind of looks at this thing, goes like this, and it's that milky reddish black, and it's like it's the consistency of syrup, but like the cheap kind, so it's a little bit watery, but you can tell that it's going to be sticky. And he pops open the little cork, it's like thunk, and then he like smells it, and he's like, oh god. And as the like smell kind of like wafts out of it for just a second before he corks it again, it smells like a mix of like spoiled milk, curdled blood, and like snake musk. And this and he's like, so, and he sets it aside, and you see him do like some incantation or whatever, and he says, wow, you're very lucky that none of you drank this. Where did you find this? You know what I don't want to know. He tells you, this is a Broodguard potion, and I will, whoever wants to add it, but a humanoid that ingests this potion is immediately rendered incapacitated and transforms into a Yuan-Ti Broodguard over the next, let me see how many days. 1d6 plus 6 days. So about 9 days it would take for you to transform into a Yuan-Ti. A subject forced to imbibe the brew can make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw. On a success, it is poisoned and isn't otherwise affected. So a spell such as Lesser Restoration or Remove Curse can end the transformation process at any time before it runs its course. After the process is complete, only a wish spell can reverse the effect. So anyone who drinks this will turn into, I'll send you guys this in the Skype if you want. Will that work if I send it?
Yeah, you can send pictures in Skype.
Oh, I was going to send you a link so that you can see it on D&D Beyond. I'll send it in the chat too. So anybody who drinks this potion turns into that over a certain number of days, and it is a permanent transformation.
Sweet Jesus!
It is a permanent transformation unless you use Lesser Restoration or Remove Curse before the transformation process is done.
I say, if we had an antidote, I could drink that and be that for the next 10 days.
So he hands it back and he's like, be very careful with this. This is very dangerous.
Alright. What else does this guy have in here?
Well, he does spell casting services. So if you need like a certain spell, then he can get it for you or do it for you, like Lesser Restoration or Prayer of Healing, Remove Curse, Speak with the Dead, Raise Dead.
Inquire about anti-scrying. Are we still looking for that?
That would be good.
It's probably a good idea just to inquire about.
So the non-detection spell, it lasts for 8 hours. It is something that has to be constantly cast by somebody who can cast the spell. So it's not, it would cost you probably somewhere between like 90 and 200 gold, and it would only last you about 8 hours before you leave, and then you don't have anybody to cast it again, so.
Does he have
It's not a scroll or anything like that?
Even if it was, only people who have the ability to cast a spell can use the scroll.
Does he have any sort of spell that can change Erdnot's voice for the next 10 days?
He wouldn't, but you can, let's see.
Sound like Goofy. Gosh. Gosh.
I'll attack that hobgoblin over there. You?
Let's see, I'm gonna Google. So alter self. Let's see. Alter self will do that. It's not an official thing. So how about I'll do some research on what a potion of alter self would look like, and we'll just say that I'll come up with it, and then I'll talk to you about it, and if you want to buy it, then you can. And we'll talk about it after, so I can look into it. We'll retcon buy it if it's something that you want. All right.
Alrighty.
Do we want to get some oil for that lantern?
I think we're pretty stocked on oil.
Okay.
Yeah. Right? And then, like, I had bought like 2 each for everybody, like 2 cities ago, or something. And I think we only lit it once after he got shot.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, he just got shot again. More assassins.
Alright, you take 6d8 piercing damage. Alright, so
drive-by damage.
Gotcha, bitch! Alright, so...
I'm rich, bitch!
Alrighty. So you guys finish up your shopping, and you meet up with the, meet up at the, fucking High Road Charter Company, and,
That's canon now. Fucking High Charter Road.
And, it's like what is that, Catalina wine mixer. Fucking High Road.
It's a fucking Catalina wine mixer.
So as you guys all approach, you see that there are about 5 additional individuals who are dressed like in leathers and everything to be guards for this other group, and then you see it's got 6 supply wagons and about 24 laborers that are getting ready to move on, and you definitely see several individuals that you recognize. Not Braxton, but you do see Minxie is there, Cormina is in the group. Hold on. So Minxie, Cormina, you see Wexler and Philok are there as well, but they're part of the guards. Sorry. And you also see a familiar face, and this brown-skinned human male with dark curly hair. Looking a little bit, he's got his glasses that he kind of pushes up a little bit on his nose. You see Hasid from the Raiders camp.
Hasid.
Oh, shit.
This is as we're approaching, right?
Yes,
This is,
so as you're approaching there. Yep.
I would hang back from our group, because even though I might look completely different, I would imagine it doesn't take a lot for someone who has seen all of us together to put it together. It's like, hey, wait, you swapped out the dwarf for another dwarf? It's not the same dwarf?
I don't know. Issa did a very, very good job. You do look like a different guy. And your, the fact that you were the merchant who hired these others, maybe they just got another dwarf. That's up to you guys to So just
Yeah,
five,
we got another dwarf. I like that.
We liked it so much we bought our own.
Yeah, I was gonna say we tamed one. Tamed our own dwarf.
And you also see, sorry, I'm just pulling up another person here, Finian, who was a guard on the last, on Cormina's wagon, but now he is dressed up in regular, common or like laborer clothing and is a laborer at this point.
Do we know where the pole went?
No, he took off when you guys, like, so he continued on with the Hoper's wagon when you all went into the city.
The spotlight came on just as those exploded. I was like, "Whoa, that's a huge explosion!" Like, oh wait, it's just the spotlight.
Can I bring? I want to make sure that Vidania sees that Hasid is there.
I'm just gonna put my hood up.
But we'll
Put your
be
and
really
stay in the back.
remember her face.
Put your boobies away.
Just keep your shirt on.
Cover myself.
Lee just looked at me, stared daggers.
There were no real boobies in the making
She was
of this episode.
She's like, it's
No
that kind of
boobies.
game now.
Yeah, I know. No boobies were injured or put in danger in the making of this episode. Don't worry.
She's so mad.
Somebody count how many times we just said boobies.
Not enough.
6.
All right.
So
Multiplied by 2.
I'll say Vidania, just kind of stay behind me to the opposite side of Hasid. Maybe you'll be less noticeable there.
Okay, I do that.
So you guys also remember that you were in the Raiders camp at night. You're all disguised now, so it's not to say that there's no way that anybody would recognize you, but Hasid wears glasses. You know, it was very dark. So, and you look very different than you did when he saw you. So, you might be okay. You never know, but you feel like maybe you might be all right.
Don't freak out yet.
Yeah. Like, of course, seeing him, you're like, holy shit, fuck. But,
He knows my boobs.
but yeah, so Ardred, like, looks across the group and is like, all right, this journey sucks. It's going to be hard. The weather is going to be horrific. It will be very cold. I hope you've packed everything that you need. It's going to be full of dangers. Laborers, stay with the carts as close as you can. Guards, keep an eye out. We are counting on all of these laborers making it to the storehouse so that we can continue building this road. None of us are going to enjoy this. Let's try to get there in one piece. Let's go. And you guys head off on your way north.
We still have all of our horses, right?
So that's my question.
Yeah. So the guards,
Right.
so there's horses pulling the carts. You guys have horses. Some of the guards like hop onto the carts, but your horses are with you. And you head north on your way to the next destination. And you all have reached level 5.
Shit!
Yeah!
2 months of traveling.
I know, right? And we still have more to go because we jumped off one caravan and now we're part of another.
Right. Traveling again.
Yep. Traveling band of.
Yeah, this isn't going to be the same as the other travel, so don't worry. It's not gonna take 2 months. We'll fast track this one.
Nice.
Wow,
Yeah.
you surprised us.
Level 5 matches.
Was
I
not
wasn't
expecting
expecting that we had
that.
to like die a couple more times, fight a boss or two.
Oh, that's coming up, probably. I mean, she's not going to let us get away that easy.
Oh yeah, that's why we leveled up.
I know, right? Exactly.
She's toying with the idea of killing us.
No, I love all of my children. So, those out there watching, thanks for hanging out. The group's gonna probably level the people up over the next couple days. Don't forget to follow. If you've been watching, please follow. We're 20 followers away from our 100 follower giveaway, and then we're gonna have a July giveaway, so we'll have double. And then if we get to 20 subs, then we're gonna have like another one. So there's all kinds of giveaways going on. I closed it, of course, but our let's see, our 100 follower giveaway is. Thank you, Baby Punching Tacos, for hanging out with us, and for following. We appreciate it, and for interacting. We appreciate that as well.
Yeah, you that was a good interacting today. Here, I'll gift you this thing here.
What is that?
I gifted them a sub.
No, that's gifting. Oh, okay. There you go. Did you do it?
I think so. I pressed the button.
You have to press multiple
I don't
buttons.
know this thing. I'm not on here like you are all the time.
Do you want me to do it? Let me do it, just so let me do it. Hold on.
Okay. Oh wait, I don't. Okay, you do it.
I'll do it.
She's like, let me do it. You're gonna fuck it up.
Let me do it.
That's why any house project I tried to do, she was like, you're gonna fuck it up. So she doesn't do that. She doesn't say that. She just goes, let's hire a professional.
Yes.
That's Liz talk for you. You're gonna fuck it up.
There you go. Kind of got us to the 15 sub. There you go. I don't know if we're allowed to do that, but whatever. Apparently we are.
Did it. Fuck it.
Thank you. I will probably take you up on that because I don't homebrew. I mean, I'm not against it or anything. I just don't do it. So
Siren now.
Sirens. Oh, yeah. So when we get to 100 followers, we are going to be giving away these dice. Or not these dice, actually. We'll be giving away a gift card, a $30 gift card to cozygamer.com, where you can buy whatever dice you want with that $30. She's got beautiful, beautiful dice over there. This one I just really liked. Resin, metal, all kinds. So, and then accessories as well. Yeah, and then I think our July merch is going to be one of our shirts, the 3/4 length. Hold on, I think I can type this. There you go, and it tells you the thing. Alright, yeah, so... Oh, we're in a raid. Don't let me forget.
I was letting you finish your speech. I've been put in charge of the raiding reminder.
Yes, please remind me to raid. There isn't really anybody that I follow on, so I'm willing to take any suggestions if people have, like, try to go for, like, smaller channels to, because, like, if somebody's got, 700 million people watching, then they don't, not to say they don't appreciate it, they just, like, a lot of times don't even have the notification up or anything, because they've just got so many people. Oh, you know who is? Actually, I found somebody. They've got a lot of followers, but only about 16 people watching or so. So we're going to raid Arctics. And he's got fucking awesome, just everything. All of his stuff is just, you'll see when we get there. But yeah, we're going to raid him. They're playing Dungeons and Dragons right now, so that works. And yeah, thank you for watching. We'll be back on Tuesday. I'm probably going to be back on Monday to do some DM prep, and I will message you on Discord and chat with you about that potion for sure. Alright. So, thank you so much for watching. I'm so glad that all these cameras worked so much better this time. Awesome. Very happy.
Totally.
It's
One
been
less
Discord
person
this
in the
whole
world.
time.
Yeah.
I know. I think I was the only one who had an issue for like a split second.
Yeah,
Right?
everybody, it looks great. Alright, so I'm gonna hit the raid button. We are raiding with 7 viewers. And yeah, we'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
All right. Hey, I'll see you guys later.
Alright, hold on.